Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and this video is going to be my slasher collection as of October 2015. The slasher genre is my favourite horror genre. It's also the biggest part of my collection, and I own close to 200 slasher films. So with that being said, I'm going to make this video hopefully as short as possible, so I'm not going to go too in depth with every title. But yeah, let's get started. So on the first shelf we have Going to Pieces, and I quickly want to mention this documentary. It's a fantastic doco on the slasher genre. Then we have His Name Was Jason, Never Sleep Again, Slice and Dice, which is another slasher documentary. It's not very good, but it's still worth checking out though. It's a UK documentary. Then we have a classic slasher collection with Don't Look in the Basement, Scream Bloody Murder, Silent Night Bloody Night, The Hatchet Murders and The Severed Arm, Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours, The Initiation and Mountaintop Motel Massacre. This release is out of print, The Forest and Don't Go in the Woods Alone. Aerobicide, which is also known as Killer Workout, and that's getting a Blu-ray release later this year. Alice Sweet Alice, Alone in the Dark, American Gothic, Anthropophagus, and April Fool's Day. Next shelf we have Bloody Birthday, Blood Cult, Blood Sisters. Both of those are pretty obscure. Body Count, which was a recent pickup. I'm really happy to own an official DVD release of this movie, even though it's not the greatest. The Boogeyman, Cheerleader Camp, Chopping Mall, Christmas Evil and Silent Night Bloody Night. Class Reunion Massacre, also known as The Redeemer, Son of Satan. Crawl Space, Cutting Class, Deadly Blessing, Don't Go in the House and Don't Open Till Christmas. Down here we have Don't Panic, which is a kind of average supernatural style slasher, but it is pretty obscure. Driller Killer, Eaten Alive, Evil Laugh, which is another really good one. This is really obscure, but it's fantastic, really cheesy. Highly recommend that. Fade to Black, Fanatic, also known as the horror film. Funeral Home, Girls Night Out, A Hand, couple of releases of Happy Birthday to Me, Hell Night, Hide and Go Shriek. This is another fairly obscure one, only because this one has a very unusual release onto DVD. This Australian DVD is the only official release worldwide, but don't worry, you're not missing out on too much because it's not very good. Humongous, The Initiation, Just Before Dawn, Killer Party, which is amazing, and I really wish that this would get an official release. Hopefully someone puts it out on Blu-ray. Madman, Memorial Valley Massacre, Mortuary, The Mutilator, which is getting a Blu-ray release from Arrow very soon, so cannot wait for that. This movie has awesome kills in it. My Bloody Valentine, Nail Gun Massacre, Nightmare, Nightmares, Nightmare Beach, also known as Welcome to Spring Break. This movie is amazing. It's really underrated, but I love it. Night School, One Dark Night. Down here we have Offerings, which is decent. It's a Halloween ripoff. The Outing, Popcorn, Pranks, also known as The Dawn That Dripped Blood. Return to Horror High, Rocktober Blood, Scream, Silent Scream, Slaughterhouse, Sledgehammer, which is my only shot on video movie I own. It's terrible. Slumber Party Massacre, Splatter University, which is getting a Blu-ray release from 88 Films, Sweet 16 and The Toolbox Murders. Down here I have a couple of my Slasher Arrow DVDs just randomly sitting there because I normally have them in a different location. but we have Pieces and The Amazing Slaughter High. I also have some bootlegs, sorry, Iced, Silent Madness, New Year's Evil, Fatal Games, which is really good. I hope this gets a official release someday. It's basically very similar to Graduation Day, but it's better in my opinion. Then we have Open House, which is terrible, To All a Good Night, Home Sweet Home, Edge of the Axe, Boarding House, Twisted Nightmare, and Hospital Massacre, aka X-Ray, which I will be getting rid of because I have the Blu-ray release of that. Moving on to my, I've got another retro slasher, which is Tourist Trap, which is really good. Alright, moving on to the modern stuff now. So we have Blood Moon, Deadly Manor, Dr. Giggles, Happy Hell Night, Billy Club, which was a pretty decent modern slasher, came out last year I believe. Black Christmas Remake, Bloody Bloody Bible Camp, which is awesome, really cheesy, but I highly recommend Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. Bloody Homecoming, Bloody Murder 1 and 2, and Junior and Deadly Species. Buried Alive, Camp Slaughter, which was a really good 80s themed slasher, really high body count. Cherry Falls, Cold Prey 2, Creep Van, which is good. Cut, this is an Australian movie and it's really good. Die Die Delta Pi, Dream Home, Drive Through, Found, Grim Weekend, Gutterballs, which is really, really good. Hellbent, which is an excellent gay-themed slasher. High Lane, Hills Run Red, Initiation Only, and Jack Frost. Jack Frost 2, The Killage, which is an awesome Australian super low budget slasher, really good, highly recommend that. Clown Camp Massacre, Calibus, Laid to Rest, not a fan of. Malevolence, really good. Midnight Movie, great premise, poor execution. The My Super Psycho Sweet 16 trilogy, which is really, really good, especially the first one. P2, Santa's Sleigh, Satan's Little Helper, which was really good. Scarecrow 1 and 2, Shredder, which is awesome, Slaughtered, which is another low budget Aussie slasher set in a pub, it's not very good. The Sleeper, which is a great throwback slasher. Spirit Camp, Sweatshop, Toolbox Murders, The Tripper, 12, Valentine, Varsity Blood, which I recently picked up, which was really good. Wilderness, and We All Scream for Ice Cream. So those are the DVDs. Now on to the Blu-rays. Alright, so first off for the Blu-rays, I'm just going to show you guys the slashers that I own from my Scream Factory collection because I have them all together. So we have The Burning, which is a classic. The Funhouse, which I'm probably actually going to rewatch this month. I'm not a big fan of the movie overall. I love the first half, but the second half was pretty disappointing. So yeah, I'll be interested to see if my opinions have changed on this movie. Then I have the 3 Sleepaway Camp films. They are pretty awesome, and they kind of go in favourite order for me, so I like the first one the best. The second one's awesome, and then the third one I find kind of dull and boring, but it does have some good kills in it. But these are 3 awesome releases from Scream Factory. Then we have Terror Train, which, it's pretty good. Death Valley, if you can consider that a slasher, I kind of do. Final Exam, which is one of my all-time favourites. Really like the killer in this one. It reminds me a lot of Michael Myers. This one has really good characters and a good setting on campus. Then we have Final Terror, which isn't the greatest, but I do like the forest setting, and it was really surprising to see this one get a Blu-ray release. Then we have Slumber Party Massacre, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which I really like. Kind of a more subtle slasher, but really good, really creepy. and I'm looking forward to picking up the recent movie on that, the remake or sequel, whatever you want to call it, and X-Ray and Schizoid. And I also own from Arrow Video, Motel Hell. Alright, moving down here now, so these are the rest of my slashes on this little section. So we have my 80s stuff, and then we have the modern stuff. Well, not entirely 80s, but retro and 80s. So first up we have Psycho, which is a classic, pretty much what started the slasher genre. Black Christmas, Curtains, which I'm not a massive fan of. That movie is kind of messy to me. Graduation Day, Happy Birthday to Me, the now out of print Scorpion release of The House on Sorority Row, awesome slasher movie, Intruder. Honestly, this is one of the best 80s slashers on Blu-ray. This Blu-ray release is amazing from Synapse Films, so I highly recommend it. Even though it's a little more expensive, it's well worth it. The cover art's amazing on that one. And I love the grocery store setting. Mad Men, Maniac, My Bloody Valentine. This movie is my favourite standalone 80s slasher movie. It's amazing. And I'm really happy to own this Blu-ray from Lionsgate because it is out of print. Prom Night, which I'm not a big fan of. The Prowler, which I find a little bit slow. The New York Ripper, which is really good. It's an Italian slasher with giallo elements. It is good though, really good. Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is a classic. Slaughterhouse, Stage Fright, which is really, really good. The Stepfather, which is another one of my favourites. Student Bodies, which I'm not a massive fan of. It's like a slasher spoof. Now moving on to the modern stuff. I normally have this with my steelbooks, but I bought it over here for this video, and it's The Orphan Killer. This movie is amazing. It's a low budget independent slasher movie, and it is absolutely fantastic. Really like the killer, Marcus Miller. That's what he looks like there on the cover with his mask on. Yeah, definitely check this movie out. It's really, really good. Then we have American Psycho, which is a modern classic. Behind the Mask, I'm not a big fan of. This one's pretty underrated. It's Blood Night, The Legend of Mary Hatchet. This one has Bill Moseley and Danielle Harris in it. This one, yeah, it's pretty underrated. I wouldn't say it's the greatest slasher, but it's really good, and it has a very high body count. Candyman, Charlie's Farm, which is amazing. This is a new slasher movie out of Australia, and it's comparable to the Hatchet series, so I'm really hoping that they do some sort of trilogy or at least a sequel to this movie because it's awesome. I also own the Blu-ray of Dream Home, which is amazing. Really gory, violent, and brutal Asian slasher. The Hatchet series, with Hatchet 2 being my favourite. House of Wax. I own a few different Blu-ray editions of the Maniac remake, which is absolutely incredible. Love that one. Mask Maker, which is another one that's pretty underrated, and I do enjoy it a lot. Very similar to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface Killer, really good. The My Bloody Valentine remake, which is really good. My Soul to Take, which is another really good one. It's pretty underrated. No One Lives, which was awesome. See No Evil. Sorority Row remake, which is not very good. Stitches, this movie is amazing. Really short, really easy to watch. It's about a killer clown, and this one has some of the most awesome over-the-top kills that I have ever seen. Great stuff. Switchblade Romance, also known as High Tension, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which is kind of a reverse style slasher, Your Next, which I wasn't a massive fan of, Uncle Sam, which is pretty underrated. I like this one a lot. The premise is pretty unique and interesting. It's centered around the returned war vets and the 4th of July, so really awesome stuff there. And lastly, for the Blu-rays, we have Venom, which is another one that I really like. It's pretty underrated. This one has great atmosphere. It's set in a swamp. So those are my slasher movies on Blu-ray. Alright, so these are the horror franchise box sets I own. We have the Sleepaway Camp Survival Kit and Return to Sleepaway Camp, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Friday the 13th, and the Chucky Complete Collection. Down here I also own the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Collection and the Wrong Turn series, and of course my Halloween collection, which I will be showcasing in more detail later this month. Alright, so there goes my complete slasher collection. I hope this video hasn't been too all over the place, but my slashers are scattered throughout my horror collection. Anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments section. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.